Well, we had our showers a little earlier today, but I guess I started hearing thunder around 1:30 this afternoon, and then
3 o'clock.
But it kind of stayed off right near the interstate.
Right along the I-75
Yeah.
corridor, Lakewood Ranch, Parish, we'll see on radar. But we also have Tropical Storm Dawn.
That's right. Yeah.
Our fourth named storm of the season. It doesn't look like it's going to be a big deal, but we'll tell you all the details on it coming up in just a couple of minutes. And here is that storm passing Lakewood Ranch right about 3 o'clock, dropping down some rain, a little lightning, and it's passed, but the skies have not entirely cleared in the wake of that storm. Currently at Sarasota Bradenton International Airport, it's 83 degrees, the dew point 73, humidity 72%, winds are currently calm. And believe it or not, we were right on the money for normal high and low today. 76 the actual temperature, we should be about 75. And the high this afternoon, 90 degrees, which is right on the money for normal. If we take a look at that southerly flow over Florida, and it is producing scattered showers and thunderstorms. And behind that, we also had a little rain out in Myakka River area that produced a flash flood warning, or actually a flood warning for Myakka Head on the Myakka River. It happens this time of year as we get these storms passing overhead. There's our tropical weather outlook. A new disturbance is blowing off the coast of Africa. It only has a 20% chance of developing, but look at this. We have Tropical Storm Dawn. Boy, was it a surprise to me this afternoon, because about 2 o'clock they only had about a 50% chance of this storm developing, but you can see it doesn't have a lot of circulation with it. Doesn't look like it's going to be any big deal, but the Hurricane Center says it's there because Hurricane Hunter aircraft flew out from the Windward Islands and flew back and forth across it and found out it has winds of 40 miles an hour. Its movement is to the west, and because of that, there is a tropical storm warning in effect for Grenada, and tropical storm watches in effect from about Barbados southward to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Here's the forecast for the next couple of days, showing it moving into the Caribbean into some very unfavorable conditions. Winds may be bumping up another 5 miles an hour to 45. But once it moves across the Caribbean, look at this forecast of wind and pressure. And even in the GFS model, does not even have it there from this afternoon's run. But you can see the winds increasing a little bit as it moves across the Caribbean. But by Friday, Saturday, there's really nothing left of it. So hopefully this will not be any big problems for the Caribbean. Now, our weather pattern, we have that strong tropical flow coming in from the south. Afternoon, evening thunderstorms, as you'd expect this time of year. And tomorrow we could have another round of heavy ones coming in. You can see them on that model and moving offshore, and then another burst coming up on Wednesday afternoon. Now here's something that's very curious for tonight. Let's look at this in high resolution from our rapid refresh high resolution model that takes us out through the overnight hours, and it has a pretty good handle on those storms moving into the heart of Florida after being here. But look what happens overnight. They seem to think another burst might come in late in the evening, early morning hours, and then move away and dissipate by tomorrow. We'll see if that happens. It'd be interesting if it does, because I'm not seeing anything out in the Gulf of Mexico that would indicate that's a threat. Southerly winds in the morning at the beach, westerly in the afternoon to 10 knots, seas 2 feet or less. Bay and inland waters will have a light chop. The water temperature 88, the air temperature 89 tomorrow at the beach. The UV index, it's going to be a sizzling 11. Use your sunscreen. Here's my forecast for tonight. 30% chance, maybe a greater chance, but right now we're going to keep it at 30 with an overnight low of 76 and southeast winds at 5. And tomorrow it's going to be hot and humid again, but the thunderstorms developing, and that heat index near 99 degrees. But if you look at the thermometer, it'll only be 89, but it'll feel much warmer than that. Here's your 7-day outlook. No big change in the weather pattern for the next several days. 40, 50, 30, 40, 50. It's hard to call it right on the money, but you can see no big pattern change for the balance of this week. Coming up later on, we'll take another look at Tropical Storm Dawn, which does not seem to be a problem for very many people.